I never intended to ever make this video. I figured maybe someday if I had nothing better to do, I would make it. Today's that day. Yeah, we were just at the Wickenburg Rodeo Grounds there. Forget the official name of it. It's not right on the top of my head here. But it once was said, it's almost kind of a meme, that you could post a picture of a potted plant on ADV Rider, and within 5 comments, 2 guys would be having an argument of what kind of oil to put in your KLR. And that is nearly true. Nearly true. On any platform, I don't mean to disparage. I rarely ever leave a negative comment, even though sometimes they're taken that way. What I mean here with this video is just to give you my opinion of ADV Rider and my experience and why I left. Many folks will say that I'm not on, not me, but they are not on social media. And essentially, ADV Rider is social media. It is a social media platform like any other. I'm not going to mention them here because I don't want to devolve into that conversation. And the same thing goes with Thumper Talk. Haven't been on that in a while, but at one time it was probably less so than our friends at ADV Rider. And like I said, I haven't been on Thumper Talk in a while, so I don't want to devolve into that conversation either. However, I joined ADV Rider back in, I think, the late 2000s, 8, 9, whatever. I had a KLR, joined a bunch of forums, not necessarily understanding what they were, but I was searching out a little bit of information on how to reassemble the fairing on your KLR, since I had a Gen 2 KLR and I had tried to ride it on single track and rip the fairing off of it. I didn't find much, however, saw all the options on ADV Rider, let's focus there, and said, okay, I'm going to join up, and it's free. It's just a, you know, put your email in, you get access to the site, whatever. And I saw some value to it. At the time, I wasn't really interested in posting anything. Saw the possibility for rides and some discussion groups and things like that. But the value I saw in it was probably getting some information on whatever bike I was looking for. And as just an admonishment here, as Tom's Tinkering and Adventures says, RTFM, read the freaking manual. If you're doing something to your bike, look at the manual first. Go by the manual. Once you stray away from the manual, you are on your own. You need to research, watch, you know, whatever you're doing, whether it be watching videos on YouTube, looking in the forums, look at several sources, consider the sources, look at their background on whatever platform they are on. But once you stray away from that manual, you're kind of on your own, and it's up to your own common sense and discernment as to what you do to your bike, and that's kind of a mental off-ramp there. But as time progressed, I started to enjoy some of the picture picture threads in there. There was things like then and now, so I had maybe some older pictures of my bike at a certain spot, and then you'd ride back there with your current bike and take a picture, and you'd see how the bike was different and the scenery. There's just tons of stuff like that. And as time went on, if I got a new bike, I would post a picture of whatever model bike that was. There's several forums in there that are model specific, and if there wasn't one, I would create one. And I would post in some of the model specific forums. There's model specific forums where there's information on your model. I would get in there and I would either offer advice to folks or start my own thread if I was doing if it was a new model and I was doing the first oil change on it or whatever, things like that. I try to be as helpful as possible. I posted rides and things like that. And when I started my YouTube channel, there's a place to post videos, and I would post some videos in there. If it was a particular trail or area or something like that, I would add it to that. And through that, I met a lot of folks. Some folks that now have YouTube channels, as I do. And I met a lot of good folks. However, the information, there's a lot of good information on there. There's a lot of bad information on there. And looking at, if you're in there looking for something to fix your bike, look at several different things. If someone's got a step-by-step, picture-by-picture posting, thumb through that. That's probably more reliable than some guy in there just posting a 2-sentence thing about your bike. Additionally, the folks that are in there is not unlike a social media platform. There's your usual folks, and there's good folks in there, and then there's the know-it-alls, the know-nothings, constant commenters, I should break that one down, but I don't have time to do that. There's a specific person in social media that you see is causing trouble, and they're a constant commenter. And then there's the bottom feeder trolls who attack either you or the folks that are subscribed or in your thread for whatever the reason. But I mean, those folks are preeminent throughout any social media form. That's kind of why, probably the main reason why I'm saying it's a social media platform. But as with everything, it's buyer beware. Whatever you do in there, you should take with a grain of salt. And like I said, use your discernment. I had issues when, especially with like posting videos. I had someone take off on me saying, you're posting this video showing how people to get there, which I really don't. I'll name the area, and obviously you're going to see me traveling along the trails to get there, but I don't give coordinates or GPX files or anything like that. But this guy was really mad that I had posted especially this one particular area, and he decided to troll me pretty hard. So in retaliation, I took every trail video I could and posted it within his threads. And probably you really shouldn't engage with trolls, but that's what I did, and he stopped. It stopped. So that was a while back. That was a long while back. But essentially, I thought things were okay and all right, and if you're on social media of any kind, you truly need to have a thick skin, and like I said, don't engage trolls. And if you've been on ADV Rider, it's not just adventure motorcycles. I mean, it's scooters and everything. So I'm sure most of you folks that are subscribers of mine are on that forum also, and have your own opinions. But around 2018, probably around there, that's the year I left. And to preface this, I was not flagged or banned by the forum. I did nothing wrong other than apparently posting in the wrong area, which was not correct. But that's my argument with them. So where this started was I was there's a ride section, and it's by geographical areas. So part of the country, state, and then area within the state. And I'd been active in a couple of different of those threads. And one of them, there's a group of guys that kind of preeminated, whatever you want to call it, this particular thing. And I made the mistake of thinking that those were the only folks that were in this thread. So there's always someone that's messing around. Lurkers, they're called. Anyhow, we'll set that aside. Put that on the back burner. So I had posted a ride. Now, the forum says you can't have they don't want any political action or anything like that. It's got to be done in a certain part of the forum. And there's moderators. We'll set that to the side. Well, I made this posting, which was pretty ambiguous. However, it did have a picture of two serving political figures, one from each party. So it was non-political in nature. It didn't talk about any specific policy or anything. It was just kind of a ha-ha. So it had a picture of, and let's not get into a political discussion here either, but it had a picture of Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, and it was kind of like a meme set up. It was Mitch and Nancy's and first annual congressional run. That was kind of like a little jokey thing. Please help Mitch and Nancy find their way back to Washington or something like that. I forget what it was. And I posted it. And it was a ride, a loop ride in Arizona. Posted it. Next day I get a PM from one of the guys in the group and said, hey, well, actually, let's back up a little bit. I had gotten some traffic back and forth on it. Hey, are you taking this route or that route? And we had a pretty good conversation through several of the people that follow the thread. And there was a pretty good buy-in. Some folks were checking with their missus or work or whatever to see if they could make it, and they were confirming, not confirming. So someone must have been checking in to confirm or not confirm. And PM'd me. I got this in the morning, and I looked. He said, hey man, the posting's gone. It looks like it's been deleted or something. And when I went in there, it said it was removed, political content, was moved to another forum. So they said, hey man, check in with the moderator. So okay, that's what I did. Because I left a note in there, hey, just jump over to this forum. That's where they moved all the thread and stuff. So I check in with the moderator and said, hey, why did this get moved? He said, well, the guy took off after me. It just was not polite to me in the messaging back and forth, and said essentially someone had been offended by the post. It was a political post. Then he went on to tell me that I was this, that, and the other thing. And I wrote him back. I said, no, that's, I don't know who would be offended by it. I said it was not a political in nature kind of thing. It was a joke. And what the joke he didn't get was, it was the Bitch and Nancy first annual congressional run in Congress, Arizona. That was the joke. It wasn't Mitch and Nancy necessarily. It was, and that's just bipartisan, right? That's supposed to be what we're all doing here, I guess, if you listen to certain people. However, the joke was congressional run was Congress, Arizona. I could not get that through the guy's thick skull. So he went on to really, trash me in these PMs and stuff. So I said, fine, forget it. And that was kind of the end of it. I took the next couple of weeks taking down all of my content, all of my pictures, my videos, my threads, anything I commented on, any of the threads that I started. I changed the tags or the email address in the account so that anything I couldn't delete couldn't be found again, because I'm not going to leave them with my content. Removed all that and kind of I posted back in within that regional thread to the folks that I had essentially been communicating with, and said, hey man, I'm done. These guys are treating me like crap, and apparently someone in this thread has been offended by this previous post. Sorry, I'm tapping out, taking all my toys with me, and I'm going home. And one of the trolls came out after me. It's like, yeah, you're just on YouTube to promote your channel and this and that. And I said, hey man, I've been on this channel on this forum, this platform, ADV Rider, for many years. I've helped people out, try to steer them in the right direction. and I've really done nothing wrong. And somewhere within that, the commenter in an Arizona regional forum stated that he was sorry and he was the one who flagged the post. He was from, guess, California. Now, I know some of my folks that are subscribed to this channel are from California, but I've had enough people move to my state from California, continue to vote the way they do, and wreck my state. So I think I've got the highway to flag this guy as someone from California. And he even said, "Hey man, I'm from California. I just moved here. I saw that, so I immediately flagged it when I thought it was political. I'm sorry. It's too bad that you're leaving. I really wish you wouldn't do that, yada, yada, yada." And it wasn't him or his flagging of my comment. It was how ADV Rider treated me, which was worse than what the guy from California did. So after that, like I said, I ended my association with ADV Rider because I really just had enough. Because ADV Rider provides the platform. The people provide the content. And I'm sure they didn't miss me at all. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of folks there wondering where the threads went that I had. And I didn't mean to hurt them. It's just I'm not going to let a platform that allows a moderator to beat up their, I guess you call them content creators, like that. And even after all that was done, I asked him to please cease and desist using any of my content. This is the moderator for ADV Rider. Please stop using any of all my content and to please remove my account. He refused to do that, made some more snide remarks, and I did as much as I could to make it. I mean, they're going to have everything's on their servers. I mean, let's face it. Once you post something on the internet, it's still there. But I changed all my account information so that it wasn't the same as it was before. Changed the password to something I've forgotten, and have essentially moved on with my life. I don't really care anymore. But that's my opinion of ADV Rider and my experience in what made me leave ADV Rider. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching. I don't mean this to be a Debbie Downer, but I've had some folks approach me as, why not get on a ADV Rider, or have you seen this on ADV Rider or whatever. But that's the answer. I had enough, and I wasn't treated well. So be careful what you post on there. It's like any other forum. Don't post anything that you don't want to be on the internet in perpetuity, and that goes for any platform. But anyhow, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Please comment, subscribe, like, and share. Adios. And just to let you know, any platform has its issues, and you got to know what you're posting and what may happen. When you post something on the internet, it's there forever. You got to have a thick skin, and you're going to run into some folks. On YouTube, this mine behind me, I was threatened on my own channel that if I return here, I would be shot. So be careful before you get into social media and being a content creator.